Our top story is about Brian Robertson, the young man who was missing for over 2 months. Now we will go with Ruby Cherish with the interview of Brian Robertson and his family in the fur trailer.
Thank you, Crystal. Today we're here with the Raji family and the man who brought their son home. Brian, were you ever afraid that you were going to die?
I knew for sure that if I lived, it'd only be for a little while without food or water.
Was it scary being alone for 2 months out in the Canadian wilderness?
I first thought it was with him, and I realized that there was still a chance that I was a long kid with him.
And Ms. Robinson, were you afraid that you would never see your son again?
Yes, I was, but he was dead or lost or injured real bad and didn't have no food or shelter or no telling what could happen to him.
What thoughts crossed your mind? Okay. Did you wonder whether he was dead or alive? If you felt that he died, how did you console yourself?
Yes, I did. I would think of all the good things instead of bad.
Mr. Ross, were you afraid when Brian didn't show up at the airport?
Well, at first I thought the plane was just late or had to be delayed. And then after sitting around for a while, I figured he wasn't going to come, so I went back home and I had gotten a phone call.
Okay. How did you find out that the plane crashed?
Brian's mom had called me, my ex-wife.
Ralph, were you surprised when you heard an emergency transmitter?
Yes.
Can you give us an example? I mean, were you out there and, did you feel that anybody could use one, or were you just expecting to hear one?
That's why I was surprised.
What were you doing flying over the case you were reading?
Taking some birds
You often go out?
Nope, only once a season.
Brian, did you ever have any bad encounters with any animals? Tell us.
There was a time I just wanted to keep moving and never stop. Because there was once a moose and a skunk that would just protect themselves.
Ms. Robinson, during the 2 months in which Brian was missing, were you negative or positive when you were asked where your son was, or did you have any children?
Would you please repeat the question?
During the 2 months in which Brian was missing, were you negative or positive when you were asked where your son was?
Yes, I was probably like you, but my son is missing or lost in the woods somewhere because his plane had crashed. And I'm hoping and praying he's still alive, well, and has food and shelter.
Mr. Roxton, how did you react to that?
I was scared, but I was trying to keep him tight. I was wondering if my only son had gotten killed or if he was just suffering from bruises or cuts and stuff. I was very scared, to tell you the truth.
Did you hire anybody, or did you search for him yourself?
Yes, I did hire a professional to look for my son. I had to step back and pray for him.
Ralph, did it surprise you to find this 13-year-old who had been missing for over 2 months?
Yes, it was surprising.
Well, how did you react when you got out of the plane and saw him standing there, 13-year-old young man, moving by himself?
There's only five
I don't know. No comment.
There has to be, you have to have some reaction to that young man out there by himself.
Well, you could be in trouble, I could have some money.
Okay?
Ms. Ramsey, did you ever wonder how Brian was surviving? For instance, what was he doing for food and shelter?
Yes, I did. He was very dependable and knows what it takes to live in there with no food or shelter, and I believe he can provide a little shelter and time.
Did you immediately follow Mr. Carson's report on Brian?
Yes, I did, because I wanted to find him and get them home as soon as I can. Because I didn't know whether he was hurt or not.
Mr. Robinson, were you surprised that Brian had been?
Thanks, Bob.
And we are back at 2020. Now we will return to the interview with the Roxons with Ruby Terrace. Terrace, now you say your name. Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Robinson, were you surprised that Brian had been brought home in good shape like he was?
Yes, I was surprised because I thought that, he wouldn't come back, in good shape or anything, since he's been out there, back, take a bath or anything. And, he's just been, he was in real good shape, and I was really surprised.
Well, did you show him any survival experiences for him to learn?
Well, not really, because we really never had time to, because on visitation nights, we were always busy doing other stuff, so it's really time.
Okay, Ralph, did you receive a reward for rescuing Brian?
Cut, dude, cut.
No.
I don't know what to say.
Well, what do you just make something up?
All right, yes.
Who gave it to you?
Pop.
What was it? Who?
Jim.
No, that's Mr. What's it?
Well, Mr. Robinson's.
Robinson.
Robinson.
Ravi C.
Robinson? That's how you're supposed to just how did you think Brian felt when he first saw you step off the plane?
Surprise.
Well, can you give us a description of how he looked at you or what he said to you?
If I'm on the plane too.
Mr. Robinson, did you ever wonder if he was dead or alive?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was constantly running through my head that my only son could be dead and just having my only son gone from my side for the rest of my life, I just constantly thought that, he was dead. Or, he would never come back.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Mr. Robinson, who in the family did you contact when you were informed that your son was missing?
My mom and my dad and all his aunts and
Well, can you give us how they reacted to when you told them? They freaked out.
Freaked out?
I have no idea.
Okay.
And this concludes.
Come on, Mary.
Okay, this concludes.
Wait, I'm not finished.
You do.
Here.
What's up, bro?
Music reading our stomach.
What's up, bro? What's up, bro?
Thank you, Ruby, for the interesting interview. Brian, before I conclude this edition of 2020, I have a few questions I would like to ask you myself. How was the weather in this particular area?
It was dry and cool.
Can you tell us how the land had looked at the time?
And there was a lake,
Are you
the
ready for
one where the
Brendan?
train was, and the trees surrounded.
Okay. Would you tell other people to go there for a family vacation?
No, it's not a place that you'd want to go if you were stranded, because there'd be no way to go.
Thank you, Brian, for those thoughtful answers. Please take Please tune in next week for another special edition of 2020 about a girl who was kidnapped by her mother, was found and brought back home to her father. That will be on next week on 2020. This is Crystal Lovick saying good night and peace be with our troops.
Y'all two start talking now. Y'all just-